On the U.S. Supreme Court, where just hours ago the high bench ruled that the nature of presidential power offers an ex-president absolute immunity from criminal prosecution for official acts. Good evening. Welcome to 11 Alive News at 5. I'm Jonathan Martin, in for Faith Jesse.
And I'm Jennifer Bellamy. The ruling is directly linked to former President Donald Trump and the criminal prosecution for some of the actions he took in the waning days of his presidency. We have team coverage tonight on how this could shape the election interference case here in Georgia. We start with our Grace King with more on the justice's decision here, Grace.
Well, the Supreme Court ruled that there is presidential immunity for official acts like communicating with the acting attorney general, but there's no immunity for unofficial acts. That distinction is a bit of a gray area.
What the court was doing was basically saying, here's some guidelines on determining what the gray area is. Then you, lower court, decide what it is.
On Monday, the Supreme Court ruling on presidential immunity.
There is immunity for official acts. And this falls in line with previous cases under Presidents Nixon and Clinton, but there's no immunity for unofficial acts.
The Supreme Court decision, stemming from a federal January 6 case against former President Donald Trump, asks a district court in D.C. to decide what qualifies as official or unofficial.
One thing the court clearly wanted to do was weigh in on this carefully, because it's not just a question of where we are today in 2024, it's where the country might be in 2050 or 3000 or far into the future.
Justices offered some guidance in the majority opinion, writing some allegations, such as those involving Trump's interactions with the vice president, state officials, and certain private parties. And his comments to the general public present more difficult questions. Questions that will likely need to be answered in Georgia, too.
One that is likely to be deemed official would be anything to do with recounts. Unofficial would be the forging of signatures by the electors. The RICO itself would be an unofficial act, engaging in racketeering, not part of the presidency.
Now, of course, right now, most of the Georgia election interference case is on hold as the State Court of Appeals reviews whether District Attorney Fani Willis should be prosecuting the case. The experts I spoke with say that outcome will likely have a bigger impact on the Fulton County case than whatever the Supreme Court decides. Live in downtown Atlanta, Grace King, 11 Alive News.
Grace, thanks so